You are watching Tea and Trends, the hottest tea worth spilling.
No tea, no shade. All tea, all shade.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tea and Trends of myself, Tlori Supporter, and Tato Malulego, who likes to go as Tato Malukes out here on the streets. So we are talking South African red carpets. We are talking fashion today, correct? Yes. And I feel like this week, a lot of y'all have been talking about SA Fashion Week, and Twitter was set ablaze this week, and there was just like a whole lot of commotion. So here are Tato's thoughts on Fashion Week. 3, 2, 1. Alright, let us go. So, on Tuesday, photographer Cedric Nzaka posted a tweet and said, what happened to Fashion Week? And that set the timeline ablaze with all sorts of conversations about Fashion Week. And a lot of people were talking about the lack of content at Fashion Week, which is very true because all we kept on seeing was street style photos, day 1, day 2, day 3. And all of that, you have to realize, had nothing to do with SA Fashion Week. It had nothing to do with the fashion. It had nothing to do with the trends. It had nothing to do with the actual conversation that was supposed to happen about Fashion Week. So it is very justified when you asked what happened to Fashion Week, because people are like, truly, what happened to Fashion Week? And what happened at Fashion Week? Because a lot of people don't know. Also, we need to start addressing this whole thing of front row privilege, because a lot of people who sit in front row know absolutely nothing about fashion. And I always say that if you're going to be sitting in front row, the least that you should be doing is you need to be writing an article about the clothes, you need to be buying the clothes. Most importantly, you need to be talking about the clothes, because if you're not doing that, then what's the point of you sitting in front row? Go to the bag, sis! Lastly, to finish off this rant, I just need to say that Fashion Week needs to start being about fashion instead of being about celebrities, instead of being about socializing, because if we're going to use that as a precedence for Fashion Week, then we might as well scrap this whole thing of calling it SA Fashion Week or whatever else Fashion Week. Let's start calling it a fashion stock file, because essentially we're coming together to look at who's dressed in what and to drink alcohol and then leave. That is the ultimate ghetto. Let us not do the ghetto, let us be higher. Well, that was a mouthful. I mean, listen, I am not pleased. I am not happy by any stretch of the imagination. I think I'm quite emotional about this, because when you're passionate about a topic, like it just annoys you when things are not done right. So, and things continue to not be right.
But also you're within reason, you know what I mean? Like nothing that you said was out of what everybody else is thinking.
Yeah.
Keeping with the theme of fashion, there was a whole Shandi's go E last night. You know, E hosted they were celebrating 15 years in the industry, and there was an award ceremony celebrating prolific figures in the industry, right? So now my chat is not about that.
Yeah.
My chat that I want to have is about the red carpet situation there, and then further on is the red carpet culture in South Africa.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now, last night's looks.
There aren't any looks to talk about. I feel like, guys, we don't even have the time to be like doing red carpet reviews of this sort of thing, because there's no effort. There's generally no effort. I mean, think about it, right? First off the bat, like people spoke about this last night, Bona. Lazizo was dressed in a white leotard with black underwear.
What in the leotard?
And a blazer on top of that. And he posted, he said, inspired by Rich and Nisi. First of all, the disrespect. No, we're not doing that. And then Baba Lomneno was there on the red carpet with what looked like paper cutouts. It looked very crafty, and I'm like, sis, no, we're not doing
it looked
that.
It looked like a child in like an art student, like grade 5 or grade 6 was putting things together.
It's one of those crafty things like macaroni necklaces and that sort of thing. And Minnie Dlamini was dressed in a very pink mess, very pink mess with different hued pink hair, different hued pink gloves, different hued pink dress. I think different hued pink shoes as well.
Yeah,
but
I think the shoes were pink as well.
Yeah, but my conversation is that, guys, in 2019, this is happening. We've been talking about like fashion on red carpets since, and this is happening. Clearly, we have a problem.
And I feel like the only people that came through for us were Bonang and Nomzamo.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Absolutely. But
Hands
the
down.
reason why is because those girls are international.
Yes, they're international girls.
You know-
They are at a point where they are attending international awards and they are competing with international celebrities. So they
Yeah.
have to look the part.
Exactly. So that's my thing, is that why are people not subscribing to the international aesthetic of red carpets?
Okay. Fair enough. Which brings me then to my next question to you is, what is the problem with South African red carpets then?
Do you want the short story or the long? Because I've got a whole
Give
lot
me
of
the
chats.
long story
Listen.
broken down into short pieces.
Alright, Tlogi, let me tell you, I've been working red carpets since 2014. Like, I've been doing red carpets, and every year after year, it's always the same chat. Red carpets are too tiny, red carpets are not lit, red carpets are not organized, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of
mess,
cell phones. And my thing is that it starts from an organizational and management point of view.
Grassroots level.
That's grassroots level. From the moment we fix the structure, then everything on top of that can actually become something else. There's a general lack of preparation. It's like people wake up on the morning off and they decide, oh, we have a red carpet event, guys, let's throw it together.
And not just from the celebrities' point of view, but also I think from the events companies. Because I feel like they wake up one morning and decide, okay, we're going to plonk it right there.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, there's actually no planning, guys.
Why you are?
It's a red carpet.
I do.
There's, you know what, when you say hi, I'm thinking about this girl, Bonang Matiba, and she's literally the most international queen in South Africa. And my problem is that people in South Africa, generally celebrities, have a lack of interest in appearing international.
But then, you know, as we're speaking, dressed apart, prepare for the red carpet and so forth. What is the change? What change would you like to see? And I think not just from a stylistic point of view and a pitching point of view, but I mean in terms of the whole red carpet situation, from preparation to execution.
Yeah. Let me tell you. So we need to
Yes.
realize that a red carpet is an event, right? A red carpet is an event. We can't say, oh, red carpet is part of... No, red carpet
it's an
is
event
an
in
event.
itself.
So there needs to be some sort of planning that goes into a red carpet, guys. We need to dress up. We need to show the fuck up. There needs to be lighting. There needs to be photographers. There needs to be proper red carpet coverage from all the small independent media producers to the bigger names, you know, the television shows, to the YouTube channels. Like, we need to have a point, we need to come to a point in our event circles where we're like, let's prepare for this properly and let's do it the right way.
Also, we act like we're not competing with international markets.
That's my problem.
And we act like we don't see the standard that they've set and where they are and where we are.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point we have to look at them and be like, okay, how can we get there?
Yeah. You know, Phil Impela tweeted today that it's almost like Entertainment is not an international brand. It's like,
Yes.
for such an international brand to
Yes.
produce such standards of red carpet, when red carpets have been going on Oscars, Grammys, the Met Gala, everything has been to such a high standard. But when it comes to Africa celebrating 15 years and celebrating celebrities who are doing big things in South Africa, to give us that kind of red carpet, really, sis?
And you know,
really,
when
no.
you say that, you bring me to a conversation that I saw on Twitter. I think it was TNS who tweeted, no, don't worry about quality pictures. And I'm paraphrasing here. He's on some, buy the newspaper on Saturday to get the quality pictures.
Yeah.
Why must I wait 2-3 days in order to see
content? Like, why should we wait until, like, also, and then he says, use newspaper. Why should we buy newspapers in 2019?
And then he says newspapers cost 6 rand.
No, it doesn't matter.
Seriously?
What am I gonna do with a newspaper in 2019? Dude, I have a life. Like, I've got things to do. First of all, I'm not going to.
Also,
buy
I feel
newspaper.
like by the time Saturday comes around, like, it's over.
We
The
forgot.
hype is
We
done.
forgot.
You know. But let's bring it back.
Yeah.
Keep it concise. I
I am
am
livid.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I can tell. But right now, I want your closing comments, right? Let's separate them. Closing comments on Fashion Week, and then closing comments on the, I won't say the e-saga, but the red carpet in general.
Okay, so on Fashion Week, I think I've had my fair share of conversation. I just feel like we need to start making Fashion Week about fashion. That's the long and short of it. And as far as red carpets are concerned, we need to get to a point where event managers and event coordinators come and plan things to the T.
And
You know,
together also.
Yeah, and together. I mean, it's such a symbiotic thing that needs to happen from a holistic point of view. You know, from the management side to the red carpet layout to the red carpet coverage in totality. We can't just take, you know, the red carpet and say we planned a red carpet but you don't have a photographer. And you can't say you planned a red carpet but you don't have lighting. What do you actually mean? Can you actually say something that makes sense? For, like, once in your life, guys, help us out.
But yeah, let me give my closing comments. So, in terms of Fashion Week, I honestly feel like the conversations have been had.
Yeah.
You know, we're all running around the same conversation, so it's pointless, you know, to rehash everything.
Yeah.
But my conversation is, if we're going to have Fashion Week, can we have the relevant people that are going to talk about the fashion, vlog about the fashion, and write about the fashion, be the one sitting in front and not necessarily a model because he looks pretty and he's going to give the show an aesthetic.
Cloud is not exchangeable for fashion content.
And in terms of the red carpet, honestly, do better, because I feel like y'all that are walking the red carpet have been doing this for years. You've been in the game for years. You should know better by now.
And I actually have a problem with people who come back on social media and say that, oh no, you guys are jealous. Wait, please guys, really jealous. Lasizo tweeted that, tweeted a photo with Jessica Ngozi and said, mother and son stepping on your necks. What next?
It was Jessica that tweeted that.
Lasizo tweeted the same thing.
Hi, Bo!
I swear. But anyways, I think that's what I'm going to cap it right now. Yeah.
So I think it's best we wrap it up.
Yeah, because the more I talk about it, the more I get angry, and yeah, this is not healthy for me. It's a Friday, and I want to drink.
Energy.
I really want to drink.
I
Like,
can feel your energy. So
I'm tired. My back hurts. Like, it's not cute.
My back hurts.
So let's not do that.
But yeah, so I think that's where we wrap up today's episode of Tea and Trends with myself, Clarissa Porta,
And me. I don't know if I should say me, Tato Malux, because you already know.
and himself.
Myself.
And himself. Tato Malus. Is it even English? No, it's not, but we shall put it in. And himself, Tato Maluleke. Happy Friday and stay snatched.